Welcome back to the stream. Hopefully it's going to work here. What's going on? It's not going to work? That's not good. There we go. Now it's working. Alright, welcome back. Today is the Forgewatch Invitational. Should be very exciting, I hope. Hopefully it's not just me getting crushed within 2 seconds and being done. Is it still not working? No, it's working. Cool. So hopefully all will go well for me, and maybe I'll continue on to the next round. We'll have to see. I'm playing Dark Soul SP in the first round, who is a very good player. So it's not somebody that I am taking lightly at all. So we shall see how it goes. But it should be fun. Regardless, win or lose, made the top 8. Very excited about that. And we'll see if I can continue on to more success, or if my run will end now. Alright, let's see, where is the tournament thing? I don't know if we're supposed to have started or what's happening. Doesn't seem like anyone's here either. That's kind of crazy. Maybe I'll be streaming to an empty room. That would be fun. So I'll ask you guys, how are you doing? Are you guys excited about the Invitational? Who do you guys have that you think is going to be the winner? I'm not sure who I think is going to win it. I predicted Bluedex or Bloodex on my stream. I think he's got a really good shot at it. I think a lot of people have a good shot at it, though. I think pretty much everyone in the top 8 has a shot at it. I don't think, looking at the list and the players, there's anyone that I look at and say, that guy doesn't have a chance at it. I think pretty much everyone's got a good shot. Alright, welcome to the stream, Prototype. It looks like, I think all the first round games are being streamed. So if you are only here because you have no place better to be, there's lots of places to be. It looks like Dr. Hoa is streaming Xtoff. Ming is streaming Pesh's game, and I think the other game is being streamed somewhere. Oh yeah, the other game is being streamed by Forgewatch. So all 4 games, it looks like, are being streamed. It's like March Madness. You get all the games. I don't know, you guys can divide your screen into like 4 different sections with 4 streams going. Do the picture-in-picture and watch everything simultaneously. That'd be pretty cool. I think we should probably start. I don't know, actually. I haven't seen any challenges from my opponent yet, and I haven't challenged him yet. So apparently we're doing a stare down. You just O2'd in a magic PTQ, huh? I'm not sure what O2 means. Does that mean you dropped like a wimp? That sounded kind of rude. What I meant to say was, I tend to not drop. I like to just not drop from tournaments. I feel like I learn more from tournaments when I'm not dropping. Well, that's me personally. I know a lot of people do like to drop. Once you're out, what's the point? That kind of stuff. I tend to not take that theory. Thanks, man. We'll see what I can do. I've played this matchup a few times in the last couple days. It hasn't gone that well, though, I must admit. So this is the deal, well paid. Had my testing gone really well and I was whooping him in testing, then maybe, but that's not what happened. It was more coin flippy than that. So we're not going to do any trash talk. We're just going to try to win a game, or I guess not a game, 2 games. We win 2 games, we move on. That's all I'm trying to do. So we'll see. I don't know what's happening though, as far as if my opponent is ready or when I start. I haven't heard anything official yet. Guess I'm gonna go to the Forgewatch stream, open it up, and see if they are starting, and that will answer that question for me. Let's see. I did just recently get up. I was up late last night. My brain is still a little foggy. I'm slightly worried about that, so hopefully that will not end up being a problem. We'll see. Thanks, Lazy. I'll take some luck. When you get to the top 8, any advantage you can get, you'll take, whether it be luck or skill. Either one, I'll take either. Not picky today. Not sure why it's stuck on that. Oh, I have a game going. Wow, I'm not doing well in this game. Whitefire's deck is the best. Okay, it's pretty good. Waiting on go time. Alright, so I guess we haven't started yet. Better be lucky than good. Sometimes that is the case, actually. I tend to disagree with that. But in this one spot, that might be true. This particular move, I think I go Gem Hide to take out that Devourer. And I gotta get rid of that succubus. She's too annoying. Mind is definitely slow right now. I'm struggling to make basic plays. So hopefully that will stop being an issue. We're gonna assume it will be. Just need to. I'm gonna do something for a second. Try to wake up. There we go. Did a couple push-ups. Hopefully that'll get the blood flowing a little bit better. So the question is, how nervous is my opponent? Alright, so let's see if you challenge me or if I... There we go. Challenge incoming. Here we go. So I think I saw, or I didn't see, I heard that the card of the day is Drix. I'm not going to check. Sometimes that messes things up for me. I hear it's Drix, so if you don't have your Drix yet, I say get them today because... if you want to play a deck that I'll be playing after this event is over, I will certainly be building a Drix deck. It's going to be fun. Alright, so the tournament's begun. I'm not really going to look at the chat much. I'm trying to just hone in on the game. But this is a very bad hand. It looks like a great hand for some matchups. But I'm going to have his deck list up the whole time. His deck list has 3 culls, and so it's very dangerous to just open with an arc flight and then let him cull it in front of a GGP. It's a very, very risky play. So what I am going to do is Botanimate that guy. Leveling a Botanimate in this matchup is not bad. I'm actually considering the arc flight in front of him, just so that if he does decide to do his GGP trick, he can't grow him. But then the problem is if he Patriarchs, he just kills him. So, I mean, it's kind of a 50-50 shot. The chances, I think, are worse that he has Cull plus GGP than he just has a Patriarch. So that's why I'm not putting him in front. So, you know, this could work out okay if he doesn't Cull him immediately. Then I could go Weirwood, maybe into a Roar, taking everyone out of Cull range. Yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. Yes, he did grow that sapling on my dime, and so that's fairly annoying. But I can live with that. And I get to 3 plays. So I'll be able to have a 6/6 Warwalker. I could conceivably just stick him in the middle. I don't think I need to block that sapling, though. I don't really think there's much point in that. I think I'll go like this, that, and Roar. And hope that maybe I can just get the Sentinel to knock out that sapling that way. Alright, the only problem with that play is that Thundersword is going to get very large. Oh, there we go. So I got a Botanimate to handle him, so that's not nearly as bad as it could be. And while the Warwalker I don't usually plan on doing much with, he's a 6/10 already. Like, it's pretty tough. I mean, he's going to have to actually do something about that Warwalker, or the Warwalker is actually going to do a lot of damage. Because I certainly have the opportunity, if I want, to go Tactician 3 and make him a 16 on my turn. So I think he has to block it. Yeah, looking over at chat, it wasn't just you that I struggled with this matchup, Jake. This is a tough matchup for me. Struggled against pretty much everyone I tested with, so we'll see if I can pull this out somehow. And I'm going no card cover because I think Dark Soul is an honorable guy. I don't think he would do anything dishonorable. Could be wrong, but I'm taking that chance. Wow. Okay, so that actually works out fairly well for me. I'll still have a Warwalker with some size to him. The big problem for me is that I really want to play the Gargoyle. What's interesting is he has played 0 removal, which is kind of astounding. I expected to see more removal from him. So I could Botanimate that Thundersoar. I could also go Battletech Thundersoar and kill his Thundersoar. I didn't get to level any Gargoyles yet. I think... I do kind of want to get the Gargoyle leveled. So if I leveled the Gargoyle, it would cost me essentially 9 more health than if I leveled the Thundersoar or Botanimate. I really want to play the Battle Tactician just to get rid of his Weirwood. I feel like that would be a good play. Thundersoar in the middle actually isn't too bad either. I would get to buff him right out of call range. He would be reasonable. I think what I'm going to do though is Battle Tactician gargoyle. If I do that, I'll have 2 empty lanes. I'll have a gargoyle too, which is hard for him to deal with. I think that's probably the right play. It does cause me to take some damage, but I think I'm okay with that. The problem is it does make it easy for him to handle the Warwalker, because there's nothing else on the board for him to worry about. Whereas if I had been able to leave another threat behind, it would have been a little bit better in that department. So there's a really good chance here I just go. I'm guessing he's going to trade off 1 and 2. Okay, so he didn't. But I think I'll go Sentinel. Sentinel probably in 4 and Matrix Warden in 1. And a 9/7 level 1 Devour is not that scary. So I mean he's a little scary. He's not a lot scary. All right. So he didn't level a single removal spell. Very interesting. Which means I can go much more all in on this Arc Flight without having to worry about it. Okay, Dreadbolt or an Epidemic. One of the two, almost certainly. Unless he's just happy to trade. Oh, a Weirwood too. Wow, that's a substantially better play. Ooh, that's actually a really, really bad play for me. Now that Devour is kind of getting away, which is frightening. If I Sentinel, it will keep alive my Weirwood. I'd actually also keep alive the Arc Flight, but it would bring the Arc Flight into Epidemic range, and the Sentinel he could do basically just a level 1 Epidemic and be fairly soul crushing. So there's a decent chance he has one. So I'm going to look for another option that might not be as bad. The same thing is true if I try to play Thundersoar. If I try to just play an Arc Flight in, say, 3, he just comes over and kills it with Predator anyway. I could do, like, Thundersoar, 5, Roar, which doesn't do too much for me. Don't really have a great play here that I like a lot. I think I'm going to go for the play that lets him blow me out if he has it. If he doesn't have it, it does a pretty good job of clearing the board out. And I've got this Weirwood, so I'll be able to do good things with her. If he doesn't have the Epidemic, and these two trade, and he, maybe moves the Predator over and culls, then I would still have the Weirwood 2 I could stick in front of the Predator to kill him, and play the Sentinel, which would make both Sentinels 8/9s, which wouldn't be so bad. I missed what he did there. Did he cull or something? Yep, he finally did cull. Alright, I'm guessing that means he doesn't have an Epidemic. Which is very good for me. But he also could Roar. I mean, Roar would be equally as bad for me. Roar would probably be worse. No, Epidemic would clearly be worse. Alright, so that is bad though, because now I'll have to trade. Basically, I have to trade off the whole board. And I think I have to do that. So I'm in bad shape here. I really need to have a good draw here to be able to stay in this one. If I can get my Gargoyle 2 right away, I could be okay. This hand is really going to depend on his hand. If he has a monster hand, then I don't think I'll be able to come back. But we'll see. Maybe he won't. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah, that's actually really good. Do I have to take out this Devourer? So if I go Weirwood plus Roar, it actually does not take out the Devourer because the Succubus ends up killing it. That Succubus is actually going to be a really big problem. I think I'll do this and this. And at least that way, the Tactician is big enough to where he doesn't have a Call 2 in his deck. Not yet. I mean, he will coming back around. But right now he doesn't. So he would have to play like an Epidemic or something to not have his Succubus trade off. If I can get the Succubus off, then I'll be feeling better. Oh, God. Okay. That is a real problem. Yeah, no, I don't think I come back from this. In testing, I found that when you get 27 Grimgaunt Devourers on the board, shockingly, that's really good. Yeah, I seriously don't think I have anything I can do here. Especially with this draw. This draw is really bad. Well, I'll go Botanimate. On this one, I will play the Thundersoar and hope he doesn't have an Epidemic. Because if he does, that's probably it. Wow. Yeah. I had one game like this in testing. It didn't go well for me. Well, whoever wished me good luck in the draws, apparently it didn't go to me. My lord. What is happening? Actually, I think I'm just dead. No. I'll be at 20. I'll be at 1. Clearly, I am just dead. What a debacle. That is it's the best draw I've ever seen with that deck, actually. I played a number of testing games, and there was one that went this well, but it didn't go that well. This one went substantially better. On 3.1, if you can do 2 level 3 GGDs, you will normally win. I think that's just how it works. So that's fine. Not much I can do about that. That's why it's best of 3. Hopefully he won't play. How many GGDs did he play that game? I think he played all 3 level 2s and 2 level 3s. So 5 high-powered GGDs. He's even texting me now that he got the nut draw. Yes, we all know that. All right, there we go. See, this is the beauty of this tournament. I think really serious Solforge games should be best out of 3 because someone is going to get a nut draw at some point. It's just how the game works. You know, someone's going to get that, and that's fine. So hopefully now I will get the nut draw. That would be nice. All right, so Weirwood. So now I really have a decision point. Well, I guess I don't, because I don't have the right cards to be able to choose. But last game we didn't play any Culls level 1, which is making me wonder, are Arc Flights safe? But I'm going to play an Arc Flight anyway because I don't really have a great alternate choice. And leveling Bashers in this matchup is really good. It takes out his level 2 Predators, his level 2 Devourers, his level 2 Basher right off. Basically not letting him get going. And this is a really good hand for me. If for some reason that squadron lives, it's an amazing hand. I'll get to go Gargoyle, Patriarch, and Sentinel, which will be very good and a little bit difficult for him to handle. But we'll see. Well, that worked out well. Only downside is I am going to have to grow his Devour, which I didn't want to do. Maybe I put the Gargoyle in front of the Devour. He'd have to grow... Well, he'll pretty easily grow 2 is a problem. So I don't want to do that. I want the Gargoyle to have a chance to win the game. So I've had games where he does win the game. I do have to kill one of his guys to be able to play all 3 of mine. So, there we go. Take out the Blightwalker. Growing his Devour. You're welcome, sir. So now all he needs is a Cull. And then he grows out of range of me to be able to kill him immediately. But I can still go Bright Steel and kill him that way. So that's not so bad if he calls. And if he calls, he's not putting out a Devourer, so that's a plus. Interesting. So instead he's got a Thundersaur. Very interesting. He's going to be able to buff him with the Patriarch. Patriarch here would be pretty good. Would help his Blightwalker. Yep. That's certainly a strong play. Giving that Thundersaur some pretty serious teeth now. This is actually difficult because I have such a good board. I think I'm going to go Bright Steel, Roar, Roar. And I think that looks pretty good for me, actually. Just short of taking out the Thundersaur. But he doesn't have a way to take him out. Again, I don't think he leveled a single removal spell, which is a little bit surprising. Actually, did he do one call? Let me look. A Devour, a Blightwalker, a Devour, a Blightwalker, a Thundersaur, a Weirwood. Yeah, so no. He hasn't leveled any spells. And now he's messaging me that this seems to be the opposite of last game, where where now I have the good position here pretty quickly. So this is kind of what happened in testing. There would be some games where I had the insane start, and some games where just all went haywire. So now we're seeing the problem of the double roar. If you're going to play Patriarchs, then if you're roaring everyone out of range, then it's kind of a problem. But I'm going to do this, and I'm going to keep the roars going, and just like his guys are all little, so I'm not that worried that he's going to actually be able to trade me off. I think I can just keep the roar train going, and I don't think any of these guys are ever going to die. None of them can be Dreadbolted 1, none of them can be called. Epidemic does very little. So, looks like, I don't like to say things like this, looks like we're going to be 1-1. We'll have to see. Maybe he can pull some tricks out of his hat. He'd have to have a pretty amazing hat to pull a trick out that would win this, I think. Because even if he puts something in front of a Sentinel to trade it, doesn't go away. And I'll just Gemhide, Roar 2, and... Actually, I didn't think about that. Hopefully that's enough. Good. Because I could have played a Matrix Ward instead. Alright. So that was a fast game. 2.1 and it's over. Oh, I get some silver. 95 silver for beating Dark Soul. So here we are, 1-1. All comes down to this. I either spend the rest of the day sobbing on my couch, or I move on to the next round. What's it going to be? So that is certainly my deck working well. I would say that wasn't my deck doing anything too abnormal, though, is the interesting thing. I just kept throwing down some robots. It was more that his removal wasn't there, or he chose not to play it. I'm guessing it wasn't there at the right time. That tends to be how it works with that matchup. If he gets the removal, things are tough. If he doesn't, then he kind of struggles. Whereas in the first game, he had to really get, well, not he had to, but he got his best case scenario. But I've seen in test speed, that's not the only way he wins, is if he gets that. It's fairly coin flippy. There's a lot of things that he can do to win. Yeah, so let's have another one of those quick, painless, boom, boom, boom games, but we don't. This is not the hand for that. I am hoping he throws down like a Devourer or a... actually, Devourer... No, Devourer would be fine. A Succubus there would have been good for me to go Basher Roar. I think Basher's probably the play here. I could also Botanimate. That's kind of tempting. I'm trying to figure out how I want to handle this. He only has the one Dreadbolt, so the Gargoyle is going to be key. If I put down Matrix Warden, it gives him an opportunity to do terrible things to him. I could throw down, say, the Thunder Sword in front of the Predator. I don't like that play. The problem with the Roar play is it's kind of slow in that I don't get as many creatures on the board. I would like to load up the board. Yes, this does give him the chance to go like Predator Cull, which is dangerous, but he'd have to have them both. So I'm just going to hope that he doesn't have them both at the exact same time to do his perfect synergy, because it really would have to be that perfect moment. Okay. Don't like to see the Thundersoar. Thundersoar is that card that can just run away with this game. I've seen one Botanimate, so I have the other one in my deck. He's really annoying. So I'm definitely... Well, I was going to say I'm definitely going to move over and handle him, but the problem is I die in the process. So that was a really good play by him. I don't have a lot of plays that I like here. I'm thinking about going Patriarch, Matrix Warden, so that I definitely kill that Thundersoar, barring his level 1 Dreadbolt or a double Epidemic. That's very tempting. I could still make him a 6 with just a Matrix Warden. I could make him a 5. If I make him a 5, what I could do is just move away from the Doomwing. Maybe that's what I should do. I could go Arcflight in 1. I can't move away from the Doomwing. What am I talking about? It's a tough choice. I don't think I have a choice that I like here very much. I think the best choice probably is to go Weirwood, play Matrix Warden in 1, buffing the Weirwood, killing the Predator living, and then moving the after battle, moving Gargoyle in front of Doomwing. I think that's actually the best play. I almost didn't see that. I think that's the best play. I was pretty locked into playing that Arcflight, but I think this is the better play. Gives me a better board. Oh, and actually won't even trade Doomwing, barring him finding something. So that's even better. So that's a good play. If he doesn't come up with an Epidemic or a Roar, so that's 6 cards, or a Dreadbolt. So if he doesn't come up with one of his 7 answers, then I got him there. So we're going to have to assume he does. But if he does, he's leveling. Like if he levels an Epidemic in this matchup, it's not so bad. It's bad here because he kills the Patriarch also. But I don't really mind if he's leveling spells. Spells to me would be fine. Like if he roars here, that's fine. He'd have a 4 health Thundersoar that I'll just kill with whatever I want. The Sentinel probably. Actually, the Sentinel probably won't hit. He would die anyway. But he doesn't get a ton out of a roar. I think an Epidemic is a really good play here. Like a GGP plus Cull doesn't do that much. I mean, he just grows that's really not that frightening there. I mean, he's going to get some triggers. That's fine. That I don't like. That was the play that I was most worried about. Because it also takes him now out of Basher range. I think I might let this Devourer grow a little bit. Because I can go Sentinel in 5, Weirwood in 2, have a decent board, and he will have an 8 Devourer that I should be able to catch. Level 1 Devourers aren't too tough to catch up to. It's level 2 that you can't screw around with. Level 2 will just straight beat you. And there we go. As long as he doesn't buff him anymore, which he almost certainly will, I'll be able to kill him outright. And even if I can't kill him outright, probably I'll be able to trade the Sentinel over 2 turns. It's not a very good hand. If he decides to trade stuff is the problem, which he will most likely because of the Devourer. This would be a better hand to get like in the middle of level 2 because of the Basher. So we'll see. Interesting. That actually worked out incredibly well. Like, it couldn't have worked out any better. I get to go kill that succubus before it gets going. He kills him and doesn't live. Like, and the Matrix Warden stays around. My God, this is the absolute dream. That was the luckiest swing I've ever seen. I do have a lot of low health guys, or a lot of low everything. Like, he's got plenty of answers to go like GGP into a Cull or an Epidemic and get pretty solid. I don't know if he played a GGP though. I don't know if he plays them. He might just be all in on. Okay, he did play one Predator. So Predator, a Devourer, a Thundersaur, a Doomwing, a Devourer, a Dreadbolt, and a Succubus and a Patriarch. He's played kind of weird cards, which makes me happy. The Thundersaur could feasibly win it for him. Doesn't look like I'm going to have a good answer for Mr. Thundersaur. Mm, 21. I can't remember if I have a level 2 Botanimate. I need to check now. So if I don't, that is going to be an issue. But I don't think I do. I think I went for heavy board presence rather than messing with Botanimates. Yeah, I don't have a Botanimate leveled. So that's kind of frightening. With this hand especially, it becomes more frightening. If I'd had a really good hand here, I would feel like I would be a little more confident in trying to race him down. I don't think I'm going to be able to race him. I don't know how I'm going to handle that Thundersaur. I'm going to have to leave it alone for now. But that's not a lot of turns before he just wins with that Thundersaur. I think I'm going to need to find like a Sentinel 2, which I don't even know if I have another one in the deck. So I've got one Gargoyle leveled, one Basher, a Matrix Warden, a Patriarch, a Matrix Warden. There's my one Sentinel. Yeah, I don't have another Sentinel 2, so I have 2 Matrix Warden 2s, which can give a buff of 5 to somebody, but this could be really bad. Like if I can stick the Gargoyle out with a buff on him, then maybe he lives. I don't know. That Thundersaur is going to be a problem. That's the one thing I do know. Since I don't have a good hand here, I don't have much I can do. What if I Thundersaur in front of him, actually? He would take 7. I would give him 7 back. It would only take him down to 14. I don't think that's a good idea. I think I'll do this. That's not a great play. That's me just not having a great play. Alright, so that helps. Double Weirwood. If that Thundersaur lives and he doesn't get messed with and he has exactly 4, that would be pretty amazing. I have to assume that Basher dies. I don't think he's going to let me just keep giving him 10 damage. Gargoyle can't really get over to handle the Thundersaur. I'm going to be kind of tempted to go Patriarch, block the Thundersaur, another Patriarch into the Thundersaur. The problem with that is I take a ton of damage that route. So I'm going to have to really think about how I want to do this once he plays his turn. But that Thundersaur is definitely going to be an issue. It's amazing how the board changes. There was that brief moment where I was like, oh my goodness, how could I lose this? And then he goes, Thundersaur 2, that's giant. And I'm like, oh, that's how I could lose that. Now if I can live to say like my Sentinel 3 or something, that would really be helpful. So I can live quite a while just taking that 7 if he doesn't draw anything really good. So he's taking a long time, so I'm hoping that means he got a hand as bad as mine, and not that he got an amazing hand and now has all kinds of options, and that's why he's struggling to find the right play. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. That Thundersaur is going to be brutal. I'm just racking my brain of what all is in my deck to handle him. The biggest offensive creature I have in my deck right now is only 9. The Patriarch, I believe, is a 15, 20. Yeah, so Patriarch, if I can just survive till level 3 and I get both of these Patriarchs leveled, then a Patriarch will handle him very well. But by that point, I could be too low on life. Thundersaur is just a really tricky guy to handle. An option might be to stick the General in front of him. I don't take the 7. I barely grow him. It's just a stall tactic. I'd probably even play the Weirwood first so I don't grow him. Yep, so that worked out pretty well for him. Yeah, so that was a very good turn for him. Took out most of my threats. I don't think I can do the general play now. I think I need to just get some pressure back on him by playing the 2 Weirwoods. I can block his. They both live. The Gargoyle will do 9. So I think at this point we're sort of racing, and I'm trying to hold on until I can find an answer to that Thundersaur. The problem is it's a bad race because the Gargoyle doesn't race well. What I very well may do is stick the Sentinel in front of the Thundersaur. Since he won't die and he'll only do a little damage, he's a really good way for me to stall a turn against that Thundersaur. I don't know that he's played any removal actually, so I don't think he has any. He played that one Dreadbolt. I mean, let me check. He's played a lot of weird stuff in this game. 1 Dreadbolt. I think that's it for removal. Bye, honey. Have fun. Let's see. Yep, so just 1 Dreadbolt he's played. So that makes me feel a lot better that this game is not him just removing everything I play. That's interesting. Oh, okay. That works really well. Man, these continued ridiculous hands. I don't think I can sit back and do nothing about the Thundersaur. I think I have to engage him now. If I do it with the Sentinel, if I had a really good hand of level 2 guys, I would just stick them. I'd move probably the Gargoyle to 3, stick him in 4 or 5, and just race him down. But this hand is really bad. It is absolutely not a racing hand. What I could do, though, is go Tactician in 3 Roar. It would allow me to do 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 damage, which takes him precariously low. I think that's the way I'm going to do it, actually. 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Yep, I'm going to do that, actually. I don't know if that's the right play. Maybe it's not. But I don't think sticking a Sentinel there and not doing much to him is the way to go. I think I have to pressure him back. So now I have a few ways to just sort of win on the board. He has to block my guys or remove them or do something. And the Gargoyle can move, and he knows I have a lot of pump in the deck. So he has to be careful about me just being able to win with something like, if he doesn't block Tactician and the Gargoyle moves over. And this is a really good hand. I get to go Gargoyle 2 into that Weirwood, who effectively can kill off the Thundersaur now. I actually have a chance in this thing. It's really going to come down to what he's got here. I'm looking at the chat now, and you guys said Tech plus Roar. Yeah, so I don't look at the chat while I'm thinking of my moves. It both makes me worse, and it does feel a little bit underhanded to be able to see what other people are saying. Okay, so that's not too upsetting. So he could be a 9. I'll have my Tactician as a 9-13, so he's going to be hard to deal with. I'm really hoping that between this Gargoyle and this Weirwood, that's pretty good. But I am going to have a lot of threats. He's only going to be at 8. And I'm going to have 2 Gargoyles, or at least 1 Gargoyle. The Gargoyle placement is actually tricky here. Actually, I don't think I blocked that Thundersaur. I think I just have 4 dudes on the board, and I don't think he handles that. I mean, if he does 18, that's fine. I don't really care about that. He doesn't have enough pump to pump him up. So if I go Weirwood 2, Gargoyle 4, I don't think there's much he can do. He can move his Drake over, kill one thing, block 2 other guys. The Gargoyles move all over the board. I think that might be enough. He'll be at 16. He'll be at 8. I think that should be enough. Let me see. I don't think I have him dead on the board. 16. I need 8 more. The most I can do is give myself 2 more. So, yeah, I think I'll do this play. It might be smarter to go both Gargoyles, but this looks pretty strong. Like, I don't think he handles that Weirwood. I could, in theory, do the General to get to 2 more here, and he'd be big. He would actually be an 8-14, but I think I want the movement in the Gargoyle. The only question is... No, I think this is the right way. So I'm going to definitely play him there. Now do I move the Gargoyle over into 4? No, I'll put him here. Alright. Let's see how it works out. Is that 2? Wait, is that 2? Oh my god, I totally messed that up. No worse. Alright. So I had death on the board. This is the problem with not being fully awake yet. Oh my god. I forgot I was going to be buffing my Tactician. I could have just whatever his name is. Holy Jesus. Let's just assume that I think it'll be fine. I think 4 guys wins anyway, but I'm going to go with that was incredibly embarrassing. Especially to be live on a stream, so sorry about that. That shouldn't have happened in a Forgewatch top 8. Oh, man. So what happened there, I did all my math without the Patriarch being on the board. So I had it all in chat, all in my hand while I was doing the math. And I did not account for the Patriarch buffing the Tactician. It was just simply getting the guys on the board to put the most pressure on him. So if I lose this one, it will be the single most embarrassing loss that I've ever had in any game. So hopefully I won't lose this one. I feel like I have it won. I don't think he has anything he can do against this, but he is thinking a while. He didn't just concede right off, so he might have a play here. Man, that is embarrassing. So that's how you know that I'm not looking at chat. I think you guys probably noticed that that I had it. So oh boy, that was really bad. Wow, I'm tilting here. That's for sure. That was really, really bad. Does the Roar one win it? No. That would have been embarrassing. That would have been incredibly. I mean, let me rephrase that. It was embarrassing. Like there's no it would have been. It was embarrassing. Let me make sure I do this right so I don't lose to the overkill. Okay, there we go. So I move on. Do I deserve to move on? I don't know. That's a questionable. There we go. Hooray! I played like an idiot. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That shouldn't have happened. That's really, really bad. My face is red here. And I'm incredibly embarrassed. So. Alright, I'm going to go with, I still played it well, other than that mistake. So you guys tell me, did you see any other blunders that I made there, or was that the only blunder? The only bad blunder, anyway. That was the worst blunder in the history of blunders. Like, you can't have lethal and miss it. So, that's really, really bad. And I just want to say, if there's anyone in the stream who predicted I would lose the first round, I don't know if you know my saying, don't bet against the house. Now, I actually, I thought I was going to lose that game. In my testing, now that it's over, I can talk more candidly. In my testing, I got my butt kicked repeatedly. Dark Soul played it completely different than the way any of my testing mates played it. So that's very interesting for me to see how he played it. A lot of my testing mates, like Kit played this deck a bunch of times, and what he would often do is just get succubuses out, and I didn't have a good way of handling them. Thundersoar was not a card that was played a whole lot in my testing. It was mostly stuff like just board control, like tons of culls and succubus and stuff like that just completely owned me. I was kind of surprised that in this matchup that just didn't happen very much. Yeah, Table 1 crushed me with this deck. Jake crushed me with this deck. Kit crushed me with this deck. I'd say I was about 20-80 against this deck, percentage-wise. So I'll say this. I was utterly terrified going into this match to the point where I told my wife, don't worry, I'm probably not going to win it. So thankfully I did. So hooray. Yep, in the top 4. Very excited. That my goal was to top 4. Now I have to figure out what. I actually stopped even testing against Blood X or Whitefire. Like I played against Blood X's deck a couple times. I think I played Whitefire one time with his deck, so I don't even know how I beat that deck at all. I have no game plan at all. I just eventually went all in on trying to find a way to beat Dark Soul because I just couldn't beat it. Sorry, man. The Leafkin got you. It's so funny because we had to talk about that on paper, I look at Xtop's deck and I don't see how he wins the AU matchup. But Table 1 said that they tested a lot and the deck's really good against the matchup. So. I had you on skill and Dark Soul on deck selection. Yeah. No, I don't know if you guys saw my podcast with Jake. I actually picked Dark Soul also. I think his deck was favored in that matchup. He basically nut drew me the first game. I got a very good draw the second game. The third game was much more of an interesting game where, he got that. He was winning. And then I had that amazing turn where everything just worked perfectly. It wasn't nut draws or anything, but everything worked perfectly. And then he threw down the Thundersoar, which worked perfectly. And it was like a back and forth of neither of us were getting nut draws, but we were both getting really good answers for what the other guy is doing. And so it was a good game. Yeah, definitely thanks to Sonata Wolf. I played Sonata himself a couple times, and then he very, very generously let Jake use his account because Jake is a punk and doesn't have any Thundersource for some reason. I don't know why he didn't just buy them when they were card of the day. I mean, he spent like $1 million and then he can't even buy Thundersource. Come on, Jake. What are you doing? Yeah, it seems like Thundersoars are going to be pretty critical against that Leafkin deck. So does anyone know who is winning between Whitefire and Blue X or Blood X or whatever he goes by? I'm not trolling you, Jake. Did you miss that? It was actually card of the hour at 9:30 from 9:30 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. yesterday. Thundersoar was card of the hour. You must have missed it. Interesting. Blue Dex is winning 1-0. They're only in the first game. We're done? Holy cow. I guess it doesn't matter because I don't play again for hours, so that's fine. Yes, and I was definitely joking that Thundersoar has not been card of the day, card of the hour, or even card of the minute yet. So Dark Soul is saying that he made a huge misplay in Game 3. So that's interesting. I'm not sure anyone makes a bigger misplay than what I made. God, that would have been so embarrassing if he had a Roar 2 or 2 Roar 1s and then ball game. I don't play again till till what time? I don't know. There's an hour break though. I'll bring up the schedule real quick. For me personally, I don't like how they're doing the hour breaks and stuff just because it's hard for me personally as far as like my wife wanting me to be done with this. But I think it's genius to actually get every single game on the stream. The whole tournament is streamed with expert commentary. My game will have a double stream. It'll be my stream and their stream. So I think it's really cool. Let's see. Where is the schedule listing? I have it somewhere around here. High quality radio right here. Where is the schedule? All right, here it is. All right, so my game supposedly will be at 4 p.m. East Coast time, which is 1 p.m. my time, which means there's an hour break before I play either Bloodix or Whitefire. Probably going to be Bloodix. Xtoff. Yep. So what's going to happen is it's going to be Xtoff versus Holy Llama on the mainstream next. And then after their game is over, then my game will be on against Bloodix. And since they're... Oh, no, they're showing Whitefire's hand. That would have been really cool if it was Bloodix, and then they could have had both of our hands on stream. That would be interesting. Yeah, I'm pretty terrified of Bloodix's deck. He has a very good deck. The weakness I saw with Dark Souls' deck was the one Dreadbolt, and I was trying to exploit that. The weakness with Bloodix's deck is he doesn't have weaknesses. So his deck is just very, very strong. Oh, see, I don't know. I don't know what his name is. So is it Bluedex? Alright, I'm going to keep calling him Bluedex then. That's what I've been calling him. But his deck is very strong. I don't actually have a plan for beating his deck. My plan goes something like this. Please don't draw all your good cards, Bluedex. And then I might be okay. So it feels like a lot of it is going to come down to his draws. Like if he draws all the removal at the right moments, which he has a good chance to, because he has a varied amount of removal. It's hard to hide guys from him, because even if they're out of Dreadbolt range, he can go like Epidemic Dreadbolt or Shock Dreadbolt or Shock Spark. Like he has all these options. I picked him to win the tournament, and I still think he has a really good shot at it. After the event, that's the deck that I'll be running. Not his deck. There's some things I don't like about his deck. But that shell, once I get my second Phoenix at least from my prize, and then if I can get a third one. But that's just my personality. His deck is very similar to what I wrote up in my article. And that's how I like to play the game, is to be the guy controlling the board rather than the guy hoping to not get controlled. And that's what my deck is. My deck currently is put good stuff out, try to punch him in the face, and say, you're not going to be able to control me before I can punch you so hard in the face you can't get up. And sometimes that works, and then sometimes that does not work. Control decks, I feel like, give you more options. But that's just me. I'm a control deck kind of player. Everyone has their personality, and I'm a control deck guy. And the reason I'm playing this is just because I'm not just a control player. I am a winning player. I don't know how to say it in this game. In Game of Thrones, we would say a Jaime player, which is one that will do whatever it takes to win. In other words, whatever I decide is the best deck for the meta is what I'm going to play. I would prefer it as a control deck. But if I decide it's an aggro deck, then that's what I'll play. But I would prefer to play control decks. Yeah, I'm looking at that game right now. I don't know who to root for because, like I said, I didn't really test against Whitefire's deck. It looks really good to me. And Bluedex's deck just beat the bejesus out of me. So, yeah, it's basically what I am, well paid. I play good decks. I don't generally play bad decks either. Like, I don't even have fun playing bad decks. And I don't know if you saw my interview with Notherian, which, by the way, they're all really good. I highly recommend watching them. It gives you a good indication of the personalities. Like, I feel like mine is less valuable because if you're watching my stream, you already know my personality. But it's really cool to watch the other people and see what their personalities are like and their attitude towards the game, that kind of stuff. But I'm not sure where I was going with that. I don't know. I lost my train of thought there. I was trying to look at three things, and it didn't work out. But yeah, my preferences. Oh, what I was saying is, I chose the aggro deck for this particular event both because I thought it was really good for the meta, and I didn't have Phoenixes yet, and I didn't have a good way to get those cards in time. Yes, it is. Hello, I am the Notherian. So that's a pretty cool name. Like, you're not just Notherian, you're the Notherian. I don't know what that means. I've even asked him, like, what's the ramification of being the Notherian instead of like just Tiny Grimes? If I was the Tiny Grimes, it makes you feel like an object rather than a person. So it makes me wonder if Notherian is like Stoneblade designed a cyborg to play Solforge to test against them, and then he went sentient and is now sort of like off mastering Solforge. That's my guess. Yeah, I think Stoneblade designed the Notherian, and he went sentient. That's my guess. Like, I'm not saying it's a fact. I don't actually know, but that's my guess. Yeah, exactly. The Ohio State's kind of like that. All right, so who won? Blue Decks won. All right, so I got to go Blue Decks in the Final Four. And to be totally honest, brutally honest, I don't know how I beat him. It's another matchup that was very similar to Dark Souls, where sometimes I would win, but I never came up with like the plan. Like, this is how I beat Blue Decks. If I do this, I'm unstoppable. I did come up with a plan against Dark Soul, which was, if I can get gargoyles out and level them, he will not be able to remove them. That plan went out the window very quickly when I realized he wasn't going to bother playing his culls. So I changed my plan on the fly. But against Blue Decks, I never even came up with that. Like, this is a plan that gets me to 30-70. It's just sort of randomly, like, sometimes I win because it is Solforge. We're both good players. We're both playing good cards. And if he doesn't draw his removal when he needs it and I'm able to flood the board out, then I can win. If he finds the removal when he needs it and I can't flood the board out, then I probably lose. So it's going to be tough. It's the Agent Smith of Solforge. Hey, don't wreck anything for me. Not quite there. I'm finally starting to get it. Ooh, code giveaways. What? Oh, I think he's saying they want code giveaway. So it looks like Justin Gary is going to be over at Forgewatch. I don't have the sound on, but that's what it looks like. All right, so the final four is myself, Blue Decks, Holy Llama, and Xtoff. So didn't it feel weird to beat Dark Soul like that? Now you know how I was feeling in our finals. Yeah, it was weird. I feel like he didn't play the deck how I expected him to. I'm not sure if that's because he didn't see the cards that others were seeing when they were playing me, or if he just had a different game plan of how that was supposed to go down. I won't say an inferior one because I don't know his game plan, but I will say in my testing, I usually didn't do as well. Like, I just didn't play arc flights and things like that. Whereas in this one, I was able to get away with it a little bit more. But either way, it was fun. And I'm pretty excited that I was able to pull it out. All right. So it looks like I'll be waiting an hour. Boo. I think I need to do a little testing. So Jake, are you around to test the Blue Decks matchup 1 or 2 times? I think we might have to do this offline though, because for all I know, Blue Decks will be watching the matchup and see how I test it. Plus, I think you guys are not going to want to watch me piddling around over here on this stream instead of the Forgewatch stream. I think the Forgewatch stream is where the fun is going to be. I already sent the challenge. I like it. All right, let's do some testing then. right, so I think what I'm going to do is turn off the stream for now. I'll be back before my next round starts. We can do some chatter. I'll certainly be back when the next game ends, if it ends soon. Actually, before I go, I think I have some packs to open. Yeah, I do. Look at that. I have a basic pack. Never know. Maybe it'll be a Phoenix. Phoenix! Oh, Metasite is not a Phoenix. That's my bad. Alright, so I'm going to turn off the stream for a little bit, and we'll be back soon for the top 4. Dun, 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 and hopefully I won't miss a General Lethal. So that was the single most embarrassing moment of my gaming history. Alright, so I'll see you soon.